straight to the safe. Throw that
My name did more for me. My name is my name. Power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty. Remain the same. Say what you mean. Speak on my name. You go to war with me. We move the same. You think that it's for me. Running the game. Kicking the door with me. All through the pain. The snow. The rain. The ups and downs. My name did more for me. You won't see it coming. I move like a crook. A thief in the night. So watch what you put. My aim precise. These bullets 12 inches long. A block away. I could take off the foot. Don't ask me no questions if you know my stance. Bitch, I'm the man. So thanks in advance. They mean a rifle on top of a tripod. If they ever tell you I was taking a stand, think I run up on me, but I'm way too advanced. Spinning with choppers, turn you into a fan. Can show you the steps, but won't hold your hands. They thought they could stop me, it ain't go as planned. How I get this far? Cause I took a chance. Really got ranked, keeping it a band. This ain't what you think, better think again. This ain't what you think, you better think again. My name is my name, power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name. You go to war with me, we move the same. You think that it's for me, running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. My name is my name, power and glory. I never change. Stand on loyalty, remain the same. Say what you mean, speak on my name. You go to war with me, we move the same. You think that it's for me, running the game, kicking the door with me. All through the pain, the snow, the rain, the ups and downs. My name did more for me. With the war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all, y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all, y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all, y'all created this monster. Went to war with the real, the fake, the snake, the mobsters. Blame it on y'all, y'all created this monster.
Don't have messed up, no. Bad news is to beat your home, nigga. Yeah. Who gon' get on that ass real quick one time? 144, baby.
Run that shit up, Trey. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said, of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a horse. She about to go dumb, yeah, bitch, be a whole guard. You ain't know they call me Obi-Wan. I come with the force. You gon' ride, yeah, of course. Get it lit up like a torch. You either low or this low, so that bitch is either or. Yeah, I know them niggas ain't cut like that. I swear I'm too hardcore. Wait up, let me make a call right quick. I'ma start another war. I was hurting when she left, but I don't care about it anymore. I need a Vaselina like my Nina Puffer boy. Took a Zach, watch the dark. Matter of fact, like a dart. Any problem, let them come. We gon' snatch they soul like Shane Shaw. Put them out of service, keep them tools like it's Harbor Freight. Try to hold me, it's way too late. I'm headed straight to the safe. Throw that one up like a trophy. I'm that nigga, ain't no debate. Told them boys we taking over. Call them up, they set the date. This shit a piece of cake. Yeah, my bitches came from Whole Foods. Told them put on that top 3. Then bring me my house shoes. Don't make excuses, make moves. These niggas ungrateful, gotta show them UPK rules. I make hits like I can't lose. They said you get on, you gon' represent. I said of course. Soon as they crank that beat, I ride that bitch just like a Okay. Homie, I've been...
There's a king that's coming back to save our people. Now we should be preparing ourselves for the return of our king, not stuck up in these denominations and religions that's destroying our people and destroying our nation.
So when we are in this kingdom and our brother and sister is doing wickedly in this kingdom, we must tell them, look, the world is expecting you to stay docile, to stay stupid.
That's what Christianity teaches our people. Teaches our people to hate one another and love the oppressor. Now, we'll never forgive one another for anything that another brother or sister do to us, but we'll forgive the oppressor in a heartbeat. There's something wrong with that, man.
Imagine living your life as a whole Christian your whole life, and life's good because you're a Christian and Jesus is white and everything's going great, and there's a landslide and the earth opens up and you go downstairs and you walk through this place and you see a black Jesus, man. Why is Jesus Christ black with an afro in the catacombs, man? This predates the Renaissance period.
So when you read the book of Genesis, the trees in the garden with other nations, a leaf, what are the leaves to a tree? Cover the tree. So Adam took the covering of another nation. What's the covering of another nation? Their culture. So when the Most High saw him, say, yo, Adam, where are you, man? Where are you? Don't mean I can't find you. It means like, who is this nigga? Like that. Where are you, man? I don't know you.
Okay. So the Ba al Banya Yasha'ala wa Amarath al-Ham wa Aidya Yahau. The Ba means speak. Al, when it's joined with something, so al Banya means what? Unto, right? Excellent. So al when it's joined with something means unto. Banya means children. Yasha'ala is Israel. So unto the children of Israel.
Like if it's one thing a hoe gonna do, a hoe gonna hold. But you ain't, she can't hold if there's nobody to hold with. And the thing she said at the end, where she said, I went back and I lied to him and he still wouldn't do it. And then she threw up her hands and she said, well, he'll just be a brother. That's what he fucking need.
That's
brothers.
right.
If we have more brothers, hoes like her wouldn't have no outlet.
There was a man in the land of Oz, his name was Job, and that man was perfect and upright.
There you go, the man called Job. I think Job is what, like, afflicted. And that man was perfect and upright, meaning what? You can be perfect, man. Job was a man like everybody else, man. Job wasn't no angel, he didn't come from the heavens. And that man was perfect, meaning what? You can be perfect in the Bible. Being perfect is in the Bible.
Had fringes on my coattail way before Jimmy. Funny how the general ain't even see a penny. Better show respect, get smoked like a chimney. Keep my name out your mouth, don't even think it. Send a real Smith at y'all know Jada Pinkett. Both ball heads, my grain above 50. Lost my man to the game, that pain that stuck with me. Had to find a cheat code to the street though, cause them niggas getting foul, shoot you like a free throw. Keep spitting acid like a Mino, and the nigga be the nicest with a mean flow.
I just float with it. Fuck what you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, do you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Pose everywhere, but they ain't gon' vote dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing.
Hey, shalom, Mesrel, shalom, Yahweh Shemiel, Shabarak, and Thumb to all my brothers, Yahweh Shema, Allah Thumb, Shemiel, Shah to my sisters. I hope y'all is doing to well. Welcome to another episode, another show, Real Time Revelations, the show I do, you know what I'm saying, myself, I'm a survivor for Albania, the UK, every Monday and every Thursday from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. UK time. Make sure you tune in on the TikTok. We're usually also on the YouTube also, but the oppressor is still the devil that the Bible speaks of. So for now, we just on the TikTok. We should be back up live on the YouTube by Monday. All right, Lord allow, you know what I'm saying? But we getting it in, you know what I'm saying? It's a nice story. We have, of course, you know, to nobody's surprise, the Church of England is yet again, you know, befalling another, you know, sex abuse scandal. To the surprise of absolutely nobody. Nobody's surprised. It's like we all know this is just what happens. Like you ask anybody, are they surprised of the, you know, the scandal surrounding the Church of England? Nobody will, you know, nobody will say con. It's like, no, we, you know, this is like, it's like the Catholic Church or the Church of England, anything to do with Christianity. Christianity, it's a running joke that them Catholic priests is, you know, child molesters and abusers. And, you know, when it comes to this man here, you know, he might not, well, I mean, I'm not even gonna say he's not a child abuser. He hasn't get caught out being a child abuser, but he's an abuser nonetheless. So I'm gonna play this video. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into the topic of the latest and, you know, not so greatest with the Church of England. All right. Before I get into the topic, shalom to everybody that's watching. I see Kyla on the TikTok. Shalom sis. Yahweh Shemala Taba Shem Yahweh Shai. I see Nakat on the TikTok. Shalom sis. Yahweh Shemala Taba Shem Yahweh Shai. All right, make sure y'all like the video, drop a comment, you know what I'm saying, say shalom, drop some emojis, do what you gotta do, all right? Shalom, Lord of Christ. All right, so let me see what we got. I'm gonna share this video real quick. Now, this is why I seen, you know, I'm always looking for the next topic, right? So I'm always looking for the topic. I see, you know, an update, even more on the Church of England. Now, for anybody that doesn't know the backdrop, recently, the Church of England has been on, you know, under serious fire because of, you know, sex abuse scandals and how the Archbishop of Canterbury and now, you know, the current, which is the head of the Church of England, and now current head, the Archbishop of York, how they dealt with, you know, some very prolific, you know, child abuse scandals or child abusers. All right, you had John Smythe, which was, you know, the most prolific child abuser in the history of the Church of England. You had John Smythe, which was covered up and hidden by the Archbishop of Canterbury, who had to resign because it was found out. Then you had, you know, the man who takes his place, the second in command. He was also found to have covered up a story of I forget this one's name is John, not John Smythe. It's what was his name? I don't know, something. I forget the name of the other one that Stephen Cottrell, the current Archbishop of York, covered up. Let me see if I can find it right now, real quick, while I'm on with y'all. All right, of York cover up. We're going David Tudor. I'd even manage to search it. David Tudor, right? David Tudor, who was some priest who was molesting little girls. All right, so we have, you know. So we're gonna get into this story and see what is the Bishop of Liverpool doing? What are the skeletons in his closet? All right, so let me get this up on the screen. All right, give me 1 sec. Let me stop screen sharing and share it again. All right, here we go. All right, let's run.
Author Andrew Greystone advocates for victims of church abuse. Last summer, 2 women came to him separately with allegations against the same man, the Bishop of Liverpool.
So they're saying last summer, you know, 2024. Like this ain't, you know, this ain't John Smythe. He's back from the early 1900s. He was abusing children from then. This ain't David Tudor, who I think was more of the late 1900s. This is last summer. Last summer, these 2 women came with allegations of this man, this John Perimbalath, or however the hell you pronounce that last name, Salaki. You know, I ain't Indian, so I don't know. But last summer, 2024, we're talking recent years, 2023, 2024, recent years, these stories is coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Dr. John Perimbalath, the man at the centre of those allegations. The clergywoman, one of 31 female bishops, informed
So one of the people who he assaulted, who he assaulted, you know, allegedly, was a bishop herself. Now, you know, of course, we all know that it doesn't make sense to have a female bishop, but okay, you know, there are female bishops in the Church of England. Now, a story from the last time I covered this topic, they were saying that they should appoint a female archbishop. They should appoint a female archbishop because, you know, that would show that they're serious and committed to changing the culture, changing, you know, the terrible history of child molestation. That's what they're trying to cover up and now regain the trust of the public. They were saying, you know, you should hire a female archbishop or get female bishops in there. Meanwhile, when you appoint females as bishops, they end up being victims. Like they end up just being, you know, victimized. So like, you know, what does that, you know, what does that show? What does that show? For one, you shouldn't have female bishops. The Bible is very clear that a woman should not usurp authority over a man. And it says, I suffer not a woman to teach. So you shouldn't have female bishops. That's very clear in the Bible. You can't get around it. But the Christian church can, of course, get around everything in the Bible because they are nothing to do with the Most High. They are nothing to do with Christ. They're nothing to do with the Bible. All right. But you have female bishops in there, and one of them female bishops, 1 out of 31 female bishops, goes in there and gets assaulted. All right, good night.
Senior clergy and then the Archbishop of York, Stephen Cottrell himself, in 2023. Then last year, she also made a formal complaint, but a judge refused to allow it because more than a year had passed since the alleged harassment.
So she said she was assaulted in 2023. She had raised it with, who did it say she had raised it with? Let me run this back. She had raised it with some senior clergy, which a clergy is just a member of the Church of England, whatever, in a senior position. And then also the Archbishop of York, Stephen Cottrell. All right. Now, this man is currently the head over the Church of England. Now, he wasn't at that time, he was the second, right? But this is a man in a position of power that, you know, should have done something. He should have done something with David Shooter. He should have done something with this John Parambalath, if I'm remembering that correctly. Again, I'm not Indian, so it's like you. But, you know, he should have done things about many things, but he hasn't done anything. And why do you think that is? Why do you think he hasn't done anything about these accusations, about these, you know, allegations about people that he has control over, you know, being sexual assaulters? Why do you think he has done nothing? And not only, okay, doing nothing is one thing. These men were promoted on his watch, like promoted and raised to a higher position. Like doing nothing is one thing, but promoting these men to get even more power. Meanwhile, they have allegations of child abuse. One of them was like, it was found out that he was guilty, but then he got off on a technicality. So you can't say, you know, well, you know, the police found him innocent, which they'll try and say with this one, because okay, the police found, we're gonna get into the story later, but the police found that the allegation was what's the word? Unsustainable. All right, something like that. So, you know, and you have many of those stories where, you know, you try and bring an abuser to justice, but unfortunately at the time you try and bring it to him because, you know, at the time it happens, you just want to damn near go into a hole and just act like the thing never happened, because it's a painful thought to live with the fact that sort of thing happened to you. So you damn near want to go into a hole. You don't want to report it to anybody. You don't want to say anything about it, because that is almost like admitting like it happens. But when you gather the courage, when you come up and you speak out about it, a lot of times it's too late. They're saying there's not enough evidence. You left it too long, or whatever. They'll try and dismiss it as if you're bringing up a story from this down to third from 2023. You know what I'm saying? That's a lot of times what happens. So you had these two women that had the bravery to speak out about this man's abuse, and that is brushed to the side. It's brushed to the side. It's swept under the rug. This thing is absolutely not taken seriously, and this man does absolutely nothing, and then promotes your abuser. Like, imagine that. Imagine you seeing your abuser every day, and then you tell Stephen Cottrell, the Archbishop of York, that this man abused you. You let him know what happened. He abused you. He did nothing, so you go to the police. Now, while you go into the police and then they do nothing, then you see this man get promoted from the Bishop of Bradford to the Bishop of Liverpool. Like, good night. Oh, that whole situation is rough, man. And again, one of those was a bishop herself. Like that's your colleague. That's not, it's not to say that it's better or worse, but I mean, damn. Like, if you in the congregation and you get abused by your pastor, you might could move or whatever. You move place, get another pastor or whatever. Really, you shouldn't have any pastor. You shouldn't have anything to do with the Christian church. But if you're going to remain Christian like a fool and allow yourself to continue to get abused, then whatever, you'd move or find another church or whatever. This bishop, like, you colleagues with this man. And there'll be many times where all the bishops come together, and now you in a room with this man who's supposed to be, who's supposed to be a man of God. and knowing what he did to you and what he's likely done to many other people, but nothing is being done, and then you see him get promoted. Like, it's insane. I'm gonna play on in this video. I don't want to be too long-winded, so like it.
Stephen Cottrell himself in 2023. Then last year, she also made a formal complaint, but a judge refused to allow it because more than a year had passed since the alleged harassment.
So should we speak about justice at all?
But the bishop who made the complaint was unaware.
And this man is doing what do they call it in a Christian church? A sermon. Man is doing a sermon on justice. On justice, huh? Good night. The Christian church knows nothing about justice. The Church of England, there are many abusers who just get moved around from church to church. The same with when the police, unalive a black man or woman. You just get moved around. You get put on paid leave. That's the same thing. It's always the same story with the Church of England. You get moved around or you get promoted. That's the thing. You either hit early retirement if you get too caught up. You get promoted if there's not enough evidence to convict you, or there's not enough heat. You get promoted. If there is enough heat, you either get moved around or you're heading to an early retirement. And then whatever benefits they have from being a bishop, I'm sure you get paid up until your old age just from being a bishop. Like the same with the police. You get whatever they pay, whatever amount they continue to pay you from having been in the force. You continue to get it all the way up until you're unalive, you be unalived of old age, in your bed surrounded by whoever still cares about you. All right, I'm gonna play on.
That she wasn't John Parumbalath's only alleged victim. We can reveal he was accused of sexually assaulting another woman in his previous job as Bishop of Bradwell in Essex, and was interviewed voluntarily under caution by police in March last year.
So this man, abused some woman in his previous role, was interviewed by police in 2023, and then becomes the Bishop of Liverpool and assaults another person, assaults a bishop, a so-called fellow bishop. Like, good night.
Bradwell in Essex, and was interviewed voluntarily under caution by police in March last year. Well, we've spoken to the woman who reported Bishop John to the police, and she gave us this detailed written account of what she says happened. She was involved in the church in the Chelmsford diocese, and she told us that between 2019 and 2023, Bishop John repeatedly kissed her without her consent and groped her. In March.
Good night. So between 2019, this man repeatedly, numerous times, was trying to kiss on her without her consent. Not trying to, he did. Kissing on her without her consent, groping her, what I'm saying, which that's what the Christian church is about. Now imagine, if you bring your children to the Christian church, this is the people you're bringing them amongst. Like you're bringing your children and your family, your elderly mother, your wife. You're bringing them as sheep among wolves, man. So it's no surprise. In matter of fact, I believe one of these women that he assaulted was married. Then she went and told her husband about the assault. You're bringing, if you are a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, blacks, Latinos, and Native Indians, you should not be anywhere near the Christian church, man. It should not be anywhere near the Church of England, be anywhere near the Roman Catholic Church, anything to do with Christianity, man. Because this is what happens time and time again. You deliver yourself up as a sacrifice, as a sheep among wolves, man.
2019 at a Chelmsford diocese away day.
She gonna describe, an account of what happened to her. Now, so lucky if there's any children watching, there shouldn't be, because I don't know. Parental advisory or parental guidance is advised. All right, this it irks me every time I hear this thing.
She recalls the first alleged sexual assault.
He held me there and kissed me forcefully on my mouth. which I did not like and I did not want. I tried to move away, but he was holding my head too tightly. I could feel his mouth pressing on my mouth. I could feel some of his saliva and the texture of his beard around my mouth.
Just weeks.
Good night. Good night. And that's the first time. That's the first account. The first account, this woman found herself in a position where this man had her head in his hands and just held her there, forced himself upon her, kissed her, and and she's recounting that thing like that. That whole thing is disgusting, man. That whole thing is disgusting. Now I don't know if that was the bishop. I think that was the bishop. Was that the bishop or the other woman who was? I forget which one was married. I'm gonna have to look into the story to see which was it. The bishop that was married or the other woman. But this whole thing is disgusting, man. That's what's in the Christian church. This is it.
After he stepped in to lead the Church of England following Justin Welby's unprecedented resignation, these disturbing allegations raise fresh concerns too about Archbishop Stephen's own fitness for office. Stephen Cottrell and John Parumbalath were both bishops together in the Chelmsford diocese. And we can disclose that Archbishop Stephen knew of the sexual assault allegations after Bishop John had been promoted, but before he was enthroned in Liverpool in April 2023. In a letter the month before to Bishop John's alleged assault victim, Archbishop Stephen said of John Parumbalath,
"I did know that an allegation had been made against JP, but I didn't know who had made it."
He promised to share her allegations with the Church National Safeguarding Team
to ensure behaviours like this are properly dealt with and learned from.
To this day,
to ensure behaviours like this are properly dealt with and learned from. The Church of England has been doing a lot of, they've been saying they've been doing a lot of learning recently. But what have they really learned? What have they really learned, man? They learn nothing. They say, like the amount, the Church of England should have a PhD in this by now. A PhD in safeguarding and what's the word? Safeguarding and dealing with these cases. They should have a PhD in this thing. The amount they've been saying they've been learning and growing, and we have to make. They just been learning so much, man. Just learning so much. They've been learning. They've been learning how to hide this thing better and better. That's what they've been learning. They've been learning how not to get caught the next time, but they still fail. They still fail because the truth has to come out. The truth absolutely has to come out. Now, this man was aware. This man was aware of this allegation. Now this he calls him JP, which I find hilarious. That just reminds me that JP, that mayor of Lambeth, trying to be all cool and hood. JP, all right. This man knew that he had an allegation, like an assault against him. Now, this was after they had promoted him to the Bishop of Liverpool, which is, of course, a larger area than his previous role, Bradford. But he hadn't been what they call it, enthroned yet. He hadn't officially received the title yet. So he had a chance right here, in between that, like a month prior. This allegation was made. He had an opportunity to maybe put that on hold. Maybe I shouldn't promote this man who, someone has alleged that they've been assaulted multiple times. Maybe I shouldn't promote this man. Maybe I shouldn't give him more power. Maybe we should investigate this whole thing before he gets promoted. But, nothing happens. But, what does he say right here? The letter does contain new information which is relevant to the case. I will have to share that with the NST, as it will help them build a picture of what has happened and what should be done as a result to ensure behaviors like this are properly dealt with and learned from. And then after this, he goes ahead and he takes the mantle of Bishop of Liverpool. And what was learned and what was dealt with? Absolutely nothing.
Are properly dealt with and learned from.
To this day, John Parumbalath remains a bishop and is currently awaiting a seat in the House of Lords. Married to a maths teacher, he is one of just 2 bishops sitting on a commission overseeing clergy discipline. Senior members of the synod told us,
now that is crazy. That is crazy. I didn't even peep that the first time I watched this video. This man is in a seat
of just 2 bishops sitting on a commission over.
He is one of 2 bishops sitting on a commission that
Seeing clergy discipline.
oversees clergy discipline. So this man is in charge of disciplining a bishop or a deacon or a pastor when something happens and something goes wrong, or you might get accused of something. This man is in charge of disciplining that bishop. But when he's the one that's being accused, who disciplines him? Who holds him accountable? He probably dealt with his own case, and it's no surprise that they found that nothing happened and nothing went. They found that nothing. It wasn't enough to stop him from being a bishop. It was. This is the man that oversees clergy discipline, and when the allegation comes out about him, there was apparently there was absolutely nobody that took any interest in disciplining him.
Senior members of the synod told us they were appalled and wanted him to face up to his own shortcomings.
And now the story comes out. The senior members, they're appalled, and this is terrible, and we knew nothing about this, and we want him to face up to his shortcomings. Meaning they know it's true. They say his shortcomings, they know he did it. They know he did it, and he's been caught up. Now he's consistently saying that he didn't do it, but these men know he did. They know they know the type of people that they hire. So they know he did. When they get caught up, they don't want to go and say he didn't do it, because when it's proven that he did do it, then then questions are asked. Well, why did you say he didn't do it? Why did you stand up for this man and claim that he didn't do it? They know he did it. They know for a fact he did it, and it's this ain't a surprise. This ain't far-fetched. This ain't something that's new to the Church of England. This ain't new at all, man.
Author Andrew Greystone.
All right, so that's that video. That's that video. All right, now there's been a recent update. I have one more video I want to play. I'll probably skip through it a little bit because it's kind of a long video. But before we do that, let me see what we got right here. Let me see what we got. I'm share this scripture right here. I'll probably go into the all right, let's read this. Of course, I like to drop a few scriptures here and there. I'm saying Matthew 23 and verse 27 says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees, hypocrites." The scribes and Pharisees are supposed to be the people that uphold the law. They uphold the law. The same scribes and Pharisees you see in the Bible is the same scribes and Pharisees you see today. It's the Christian church, which is full of hypocrites. Is really anybody who claims to teach the Bible, like fake Israelite groups. Y'all are also scribes and Pharisees. You claim to teach the Bible, but you have nothing to do with God, man. The truth came back into this earth in the ISUPK in 1969. You are a breakoff of a breakoff of a breakoff. You are a scribe and a Pharisee, and you see it in their doctrine, which is full of hypocrisy. It's full of hypocrisy. Like you got them purple, alternative lifestyle groups saying, well, a man could only have one wife, but then they in there pimping out sisters. You see in this Church of England where they're apparently so holy and and devout man of the Lord and this, that, and the third, but they in there assaulting women, assaulting children, young boys and young girls, man. The Bible says, "Woe unto you, scribes and Pharisees." Woe meaning destruction. All right, for ye are like unto whited sepulchres. All right, so you're like and a sepulchre is like a grave. You're like a grave that's been painted white, which indeed appear beautiful outward. Now you look at the Church of England and all their ceremonial robes and scepters and staffs and all manner of things. The Church of England is so much money, of course, off the back of slavery, which they condoned, mind you. Lest we forget, the Church of England condoned slavery. They approved it. All right, so they so rich off the back of slavery and the royal family, and this, that, and the third, and they appear so beautiful outward. They appear so holy and they so soft spoken, and they've been doing so much learning that they appear beautiful outward, but are within full of dead men's bones and of all uncleanness. That Church of England is full of all uncleanness. Molesting little boys, molesting little girls, sexually assaulting women, adultery. It's full, eating pork, all manner of things. It's full of all uncleanness. And it's within, full of dead men's bones. They got bones in their closet. That's damn near what the Bible's saying. They have that's probably where that phrase comes from. They got skeletons in their closet. All right. Let's see if there's any more on that. Even so, ye also outwardly appear righteous unto men. So you say, well, it's the Church of England. They appear so righteous unto men, but within ye are full of hypocrisy and iniquity. It's full of hypocrisy and full of sin. The Church of England, Christianity is the house of sin. It's the home of it. The home of sin. That's it. All right. Now let me see right here. We're gonna get this second video. I'm gonna probably skip through a lot of this because we have some more scriptures in the article to get to. All right, let's go. Let me check the sound on this. I'm about to reshare. It stopped sharing the sound. Stop sharing. Get this again.
Goes in the church, not least 45 minutes. Well, all day there have been people calling for the Bishop of Liverpool to step back from ministry, as the saying goes in the church. Not least 45 minutes ago, you saw that clip from the lead bishop for safeguarding Joanne Grenfell, telling us that he should step aside while this investigation into the allegations we broadcast last night.
Again, this story, this was posted 23 hours ago. This happened yesterday. Yesterday or yesterday, 23 hours ago.
Carried out. Now, literally minutes ago, must be 10 minutes ago now, there was a statement issued from the Diocese of Liverpool. I'll just read that to you. It says, having listened to clergy, congregations and staff at the diocesan offices and the cathedral, it is with deep regret that the senior leadership of the Diocese of Liverpool feel that the position of the Right Reverend Dr. John Parambalath is currently untenable. We believe that the allegations made by the female bishop need to be fully and properly investigated. We also believe that while these proper investigations...
That's the thing, why is nothing ever fully and properly investigated the first time round? Why does that never happen? Why is it years later, when the story blows up and gains some traction, now it needs to be fully investigated and properly investigated? Do that the first time round. Fully and properly investigate every abuse scandal that comes out of the Christian church, because you know the reputation of the Church of England. You know the reputation of Christians. Fully and properly investigate every single allegation and just bring the whole organization down. Bring it down. Shut it down, man. The same way you would shut down a grooming gang. The Christian church is the biggest grooming gang on the face of this earth, man. Christianity is the biggest grooming gang on the face of this earth. But you won't shut that down because they have so much reputation and they appear outwardly righteous unto men. Meanwhile, you know the stories, you know what goes on in the inside. You know that it's full of what hypocrisy and iniquity. It's full of sin. The same way you would shut down and arrest those, members of a grooming gang, you should do that to every bishop, every priest, every deacon, every archbishop in the Church of England. Put them in cuffs. Put them under the prison. That's where you should put them, man.
Investigations are conducted, the Bishop of Liverpool will need to step aside from all ministry in the Diocese of Liverpool. And that is signed, that statement, by some pretty senior people within the diocese, the Dean of Liverpool, several archdeacons. But part of the issue here is that a bishop can't just be suspended unless he's been arrested or something very serious has happened. And these investigations are still being carried out. And so really there is...
And so plenty of people are calling for him to, he said that, the archdeacon whatever position, I don't particularly care for the roles and rank within the church of England. But whatever, some senior members of the church saying this man should step down and retire, or should stop ministering. Let these investigate. Let the investigation be properly and thoroughly done. They're saying he should step down, but you can't exactly suspend a bishop unless apparently something serious has happened, unless he's being convicted, unless he's been found guilty. You can't make him step down, so he has to step down by choice. Now, is he going to make that choice? I guess we'll see.
Significant pressure going on now for the Bishop of Liverpool to come to his own conclusions and step aside himself. Here's how the day unfolded. The Archbishop of York is holed up for a two-day meeting with his bishops in a 19th century estate in Hertfordshire. Billed as the perfect space to relax, equip and connect, there is one of their number they won't be connecting with today.
So should we speak about justice at all?
Last night, this programme revealed that the Bishop of Liverpool, John Perumbalath, was accused of sexually harassing one woman, a bishop, and sexually assaulting another. Both women made complaints to the church, and Bishop John was voluntarily interviewed under caution by police last year for the alleged assault. The police took no further action. The Liverpool Dean and 3 archdeacons issued a statement saying they were shocked and saddened by our report, and said,
Yeah, they were shocked and saddened by the report. Who is shocked? Y'all put in the comments. Are y'all shocked by this? Y'all let me know. Drop in the comments. Are you shocked and appalled by this story? Is there any level of shock to it? Like, asshole. Like, why are they so blatantly lying? Like, we're so shocked that this happened and appalled, and it needs to be investigated thoroughly. Like, y'all know what goes on in that church, man. Y'all know what goes on in Christianity. Like I look at everybody who's Christian, I look at them sideways, man. If you have a family member or anybody you know that is Christian, this is what they represent. This is what they represent, man. They follow the same God that these men follow. They serve the same God that these men serve. I try to stay far away from anybody who claims to be Christian. If you claim to be Christian, just know if anybody claims to be Christian, it's a matter of time before they abuse somebody. Like it's damn near, it must be written in their book somewhere. They must have some amendment to the Bible that they put that, although the Bible says it's wrong to do this and wrong to do that. I mean, really, they just say the law is done away with. That's their amendment. That's their amendment. That's their doctrine that isn't in the Bible. Of course, the law is not done away with. Christ dying does not mean now you can go out and assault children. That's not what Christ died for. Christ dying doesn't mean that you can now eat pork, crab, shrimp, and lobster, the things that the Most High deemed unclean. That's not what Christ died for. He didn't die so you could be a filthy sinner, a filthy adulterer, eat all manner of unclean foods, assault women, assault children, assault men. You know what I'm saying? Like be a homosexual. Like, that's not what Christ died for. He didn't die for that. We're going to play out. It's like it.
Said that while they understood some allegations had been investigated and found unsubstantiated, an allegation of misconduct was not fully investigated, and that this should now happen.
So of course they were, they're saying though the police found that it was what they say, unsustainable. Let me see what word they said. The police found it was unsubstantiated, right?
Investigated,
and essentially there just wasn't enough evidence at the time to substantiate. Not that they doubt it, they just couldn't substantiate it, right? Now, but they saying there was a what do they call it?
Found unsubstantiated, an allegation of misconduct.
Of misconduct, which was not properly investigated. Because of course not. Why would you? Why would you properly investigate, the Christian church, which is known to be full riddled with abusers? Why would you, why would we properly investigate this? That this is the culture of England. This is the morality of England. This is the Church of England. The Church of England, which is supposed to represent, as we went over in previous shows, the morality of England. This is it. This is the morality of England. You live amongst an absolutely immoral and filthy oppressor.
Fully investigated, and that this should now happen. General Synod member, the Reverend Jodie Stoll, also expressed dismay.
So my reaction was utter devastation, really.
Her reaction was utter devastation. Does she look devastated? Y'all let me know. Does she look devastated? Does she look surprised? My reaction was utter devastation. Like, does she look surprised? Y'all let me know. I'm gonna play it one more time.
Also expressed dismay.
So my reaction was utter devastation.
Utter devastation. Ooh-wee. All right. She's clearly, she's clearly devastated. She's clearly shocked. The shock, the horror. This is crazy. This, that, and the third. She's utterly devastated.
Really, I was watching the news report, and I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
And she couldn't believe what she was hearing. She couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe it. Meanwhile, she's smiling while she's saying this. Like, she doesn't even believe what she's saying. Did y'all see her smiling while she's recounting this, right?
My reaction was utter devastation, really. I was watching the news report, and
she doesn't even believe what she's saying.
I couldn't believe what I was hearing.
The woman who reported Bishop
John is quite literally smiling while she's saying this. Like, this is like a child that got caught out, or it's like your friend gets caught out, and then somebody asks you, well, did you know anything? But I didn't know anything about. I'm shocked that this happened. I'm utterly devastated. When I read the report of him, he would never do that. No, you got the wrong guy, or it's really just you try to maybe you was involved, but you what like there's this funny video where they talking about it's a news interview. They interviewed this black guy. There was this store, this fast food store that was putting class A narcotics in their food. And then they turned to this guy, well, did you know about this? And they was like, what? No, didn't know that. He clearly knew there was crack in the food. He clearly knew. That's what this is like. You clearly knew what this man was doing, but you utterly devastated.
The police told us he repeatedly kissed her without consent and groped her between 2019 and 2023. Last night, a spokesperson for the Church of England told us that after she complained, the church had concluded that there were no ongoing safeguarding concerns, but a learning outcome was identified.
Good night. Good night. Again, they go with the learning. They learning so much. They're just consistently learning. The process concluded there was no ongoing safeguarding concerns. Meanwhile, if you have somebody that has allegations and senior members are telling them to stand down, but now you're saying that there's no ongoing safeguarding concerns, but you haven't properly investigated the previous safeguarding concerns. So what are we talking about? If that's not been properly investigated, is that not ongoing? Is that not, if it's not been put to bed, if it's not been fully found out that this was a lie or whatever, if it's not been properly investigated, is that not an ongoing concern? Apparently not. But a learning outcome has been identified. They've identified that they need to learn. That's what they've identified. And to which, you know, the bishop is fully engaged in learning. They always, you know, they so engaged in learning.
Identified with which the bishop fully engaged. We can reveal more about how the church tried to manage the Bishop of Liverpool behind the scenes. In January last year, a few months before he was interviewed by the police, he was summoned to a pastoral meeting to discuss his behaviour. At the meeting, attended by the Archbishop of York and his Chief of Staff, the former barrister Mark Stedman, Bishop John acknowledged how his actions could be perceived. Yet John Parambalath wasn't formally sanctioned.
So you know, they found out that he was doing this thing, and they brought him to a meeting and say, okay, well, what are you doing, buddy? What are you doing, pal? You know, this is too. It's really what they're saying is it's too blatant. Like you need to you know, keep this a little, you know, like keep this under wraps. We've been doing this for years. We've been doing this for years. Like you can't, you know, you're making the block too hot, John. John, we got to talk about your behavior. It's too obvious. That's pretty much how that meeting went. It's too obvious. And he said, you know, well, I understand how, you know, I you know, he doesn't admit that he did anything wrong, but he understands how his actions could have been perceived. He understands, you know, I know it looks like, you know, he was holding this woman there, like holding her head and kissing her without her consent and groping her. I know it looks like that, but you know, what was it supposed to be? What you know, you groping, you holding this woman by her head and kissing her, you know, you're like, I know what it looks like, but, and then you're just quiet. Like what does it look like, John? What does it look like? And okay, if that's not what happened, then what happened? Let me see if there's any more I want to play on this video.
Previous year, the alleged victim of sexual assault in Essex, where Bishop John used to work, had expressed frustration with the church complaints process. A senior clergywoman there told her, "The church authorities have clearly taken you seriously in terms of paying for some counselling."
Good night. Good night. So the previous woman that you know, claims this man assaulted her, she was told by a female, and that's what I'm saying. Like they say, you should appoint a female archbishop. This is what the females are responding. Well, you know, they've clearly taken you seriously in terms of paying for some counseling. We'll pay for some counseling. We're not gonna hold this man accountable, but you know, if you feel like something happened, we'll pay for some counseling. We'll counsel you and tell you, well, it didn't really happen. You know, we could see how you perceived it that way, but that's not real. Well, that's not what really happened. We'll pay for your counseling.
We can argue that he should have had some sanctions, but they have apparently tried to address his unboundaried behaviour.
Good night, good night, good night. So they know this man has a what do they call it? Unboundaried behavior. He has an issue with boundaries. He has a severe issue with boundaries, and they've tried to address it. They tried to address it, and you know, they tried to learn, and you know, so many learning outcomes have come from this. They've you know, they say we can argue that he should have had some sanctions, so they know the type of man he is. They know that these allegations is not just baseless. It's not just baseless allegations. It's not, this man is actually an upstanding, you know, person, and it's just some woman who's actually trying to lie on him and just whatever. They know he has unboundaried behavior. They know it, and they've apparently tried to address it. Apparently, but meanwhile he has no sanctions, and they say, okay, it's arguable he should have had some. He should have had some sanctions, but so what was the addressing of his behavior? That's what I'm saying. Like that was that meeting that said, okay, it's John, it's too obvious. We need to address this unbounded behavior. It's too obvious. You can be unboundaried. We're not going to give you any sanctions. We're not going to discipline you or anything, but it's too obvious. We need to address it. That's how that conversation went, man.
decision to allow Bishop John's official enthronement in Liverpool.
Now that's all I care to play on that. Let me drop another Bible verse. Let me just get into this. All right, Matthew 7 verse 13. The Bible says, "Enter ye in at the straight gate," meaning enter ye in at the narrow gate, the gate that not everybody can be in the truth. Not everybody can be in the ISUPK and the commanding journey of Hannah. That's why not everybody is in here. For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction. Everybody is a damn Christian. Everybody. And many there be which go in thereat. Everybody follows the path of Christianity. If you're not in the ISUPK, you Christian. Like straight up and down. If you're not in the ISUPK and the commanding journey of Hannah, and you're Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, you are Christian. Even if you're Muslim, that's just another form of Christian. Rastafarianism is just Christianity with extra steps. You're Christian. All right. And even on this verse where it said, "Wide is the gate and broad is the way that leads to destruction," all you have to do is look up the word Catholic. Just look it up. You see right here, Catholic, including a wide variety of things, all embracing. What does the Bible say? Wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. That's Christianity right there, man. All right, now, okay, so they're saying this man should step down. He was originally saying he's not going to step down. Meanwhile, this story comes out. This story came out at 1 p.m. today. And he said it was updated 2 hours ago. Bishop of Liverpool resigns after assault claims. So now he's resigning. Now this man right here is resigning. He's done for. He's entering early retirement. That's what it is. Like you could, when you're a child molester in the Church of England, you know, if you're a child molester anywhere else, I wouldn't say anywhere else because the police force, anywhere that's not protected, you get thrown in prison, you get arrested, you get all manner of things. If you're in the Church of England, or if you're in the police force, or if you if you Prince Andrew and you're a member of the royal family, you know, you don't get thrown into prison. This man just entered an early retirement. And let's go on to see why he stepped down. All right, let's see. The right reverend. Ain't nothing right about this man. Ain't nothing right about this man. But you know, Dr. John Parumbalath said he did not want to be a distraction after claims were made by two women were outlined in a Channel 4 news investigation. You know, he didn't want to be a distraction. He didn't want to be a distraction, so he has to step down. What does that translate to y'all? Like, y'all let me know. He didn't want to be a distraction. That translates to me that he didn't want to be in the hot seat. He didn't want to be in the news. Like he didn't want to be, you know, there's numerous, you know, tell him to step down and he doesn't step down. He didn't want that. He would rather step down and try and hide and shy away from the limelight. Talking about he didn't want to be a distraction. But you know, he said it was not a resignation occasioned by fault or any admission of liability, so he's still claiming that he's innocent. All right, and then it goes on the claims. Let's see. The police concluded no further action was needed. Of course they did, because that's what they do every time. The Church of England said its investigation had found no case to answer. Of course, you know, nothing was found, nothing was wrong. La-di-da-di-da. We all Christian, we happy clappy. Church of England is good and holy and this, that, and the third. They is whited sepulchres. They are graves painted white, and there's all manner of skeletons in their closet. There's bones in that grave, man. All right, let me see what else we got. There was a part I read in this before I started this while I was researching. Let me see. You know, he says there's been a rush to judgment. He said when everyone's jumping to conclusions. Well, you know, with the reputation of the Church of England, you shouldn't be surprised when people jump to conclusions. But then you're saying people are jumping to conclusions, but they were talking about how they were, you know, addressing or attempted to address your unboundaried behavior. Your behavior is unboundaried. So what are you talking about? You know, they jump into conclusions. It seems like a rational conclusion to me. I put 2 and 2 together and I make 4. I know some people might make 5 or 6, but I make 4. 2 plus 2, that's 4. It seems a pretty, a pretty reasonable conclusion. All right, let me see what else he said. The allegations should be fully and properly investigated. Of course, they should have been done the first time. All right, let me see what else we got. Let me see. Of course, they say at the end, my thoughts and prayer continue to be with all those who have been affected by the situation. Now, who said this? Who said this? This is Archbishop Cottrell, the Archbishop of York, the current. He was the second in command. Now he's the first, and he's being called to resign because of how he dealt with the sex abuse scandal that he covered up. He was known. It's a fact that he covered it up. But he will lie because the oppressor is the best liar. He is the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right. Now he's faced his own calls to resign over separate alleged safeguarding failures. And he says that he respects, this John Parumbalath. He respects his decision to resign and thanked him for his ministry. And then he says, my thoughts and prayers continue to be with all those who have been affected by the situation, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, sure. Whoever been affected by it, we're sorry. We're still learning. We're still learning. How long are you going to allow the Christian church to learn? How long are you going to allow the Church of England to learn before you learn? Maybe you should do some learning. Maybe Christians out there, if you are Black, Hispanic, and Native Indian, maybe you should really sit down and read a book, read a news article every once in a while and do some learning. Because it seems like, there's just a severe lack of education. First of all, you don't know the Bible at all. At all. The Bible is very clear in what it says. We have the truth of the ISUPK. We've been bringing it out in 1969, showing you where it is in the Bible and confounding every Christian that tries to come against the truth. Confounding all of them. Just destroying every lie that they try and come out with. How about you do some learning? We call the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge for a reason. You could come in here and do some learning. Matter of fact, today is the perfect day. What's today? The scripture breakdown class, where you can learn the actual truth about these scriptures that you go in your Christian church and you don't read every Sunday because you're too busy singing and dancing and singing hymns and reading psalms, what the songs that are in there. That's what you're too busy doing. How about you stop singing and start learning? Not the learning the Church of England does, because they've been learning for years. And they still fail. They still get an F in every assessment, every report card, every grade, they get an F. Do some proper learning. Be taught by actual scholars. All right, bring your questions to tonight's scripture breakdown class. We'll be here on the the ISUPK United Kingdom Facebook. I think the YouTube, we got some issues with it, but we'll be on the Facebook. Make sure y'all bring your questions. All right, bring your questions. Get your scriptures broken down by men of the Lord. For this man, he said, not Fergo. What church was it? This is the Church of England, and this is the Bishop of Liverpool. All right, the Bishop of Liverpool, John Parumbalath. You can look up the story in your own time, read up on it, watch a video. You know what I'm saying? The Church of England's been on fire with many allegations, many allegations. But anyways, with that is my show. All right, let me do the ISO screen. Make sure y'all tune in Monday, for the next episode of Real Time Revelations. Again, Monday, 6 p.m. every Monday, and every Thursday, 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. UK time. And with that, shalom to all my brothers. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Baraka Thumb, and Yahweh Shema Allah Thumb Bashem Yahushai to all my sisters. All right. Shalom.
I just float with it. Fuck what you did, I'm at your throat with it. You can learn something, take a note with it. Dedicated my life, I took an oath with it. For the blood of my brothers, we don't do no switching. I run with who I run with, ain't no clicking. Try me, then you done with no decision. Lead a scene like a Mack truck with 4 collisions. Poles everywhere, but they ain't gon' vote dissing. Coming at you live and direct, I don't do no dissing.